A DNVR Avalanche exclusive. We have finally figured out what is in Brent Burns' backpack. Would you believe me if I told you Brent Burns' backpack is full of candy? Avs taking on Vegas on Halloween. Let's start the pregame show. DNVR Avalanche pregame show live from the Toyota Lounge, powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships. We got Bailey Curtis and Brent Burns coming to you live on the show. Avs taking on Vegas in Vegas on, it's technically Nevada Day, but really it's Halloween. So we've got the costumes out. We're looking good.
I love it so much. Can we talk about this costume for a second?
We
first?
can.
Like to a T. The backpack, the beanie. I'm so here for it.
Look, when you had the beard, I figured I might as well complete the rest of the ensemble. So it worked out for me.
That's not included in the costume set. Gosh. No, it's great.
That part's natural, but it'll also get shaved too soon, and that'll be the real costume in November when I don't have a beard at all.
I don't know if I'm ready for that. Emotionally.
It's a big change sometimes. There are a couple of other things that I do want to talk about with you, Bailey, before we actually get into today's game. AJ and I obviously had the show yesterday about the Marty Necas contract. I wanted to get your thoughts on the $11.5 million AAV 8-year deal.
It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
A lot of numbers. But I think as of right now, where market's being set, where some of those, contracts that have already started to come in, we're coming in at, this is a really smart deal. Even before like this 11.5 was kind of being hit, Marty through the season so far has shown that he's capable of being like a 10 and a half type player.
Yep.
And that getting there would have been, that's a cheap contract. I'll take that every day of the week. What makes it 11 and 11.5 for me comes down to the consistency aspect of it. And I feel like consistency is something I harp on a lot with this team, but especially with Marty, who tends to go cold for different periods throughout the season.
For sure.
And especially during the playoffs as well. I think if he can continue on that 90 to 100 point pace and figure out, some parts of his game to keep those cold streaks down to a minimum and find a way to produce the way that maybe a Nathan MacKinnon does in the playoffs, or at least help contribute. That's what I would like. It is just some sort of contribution. I'm not asking for a goal every night. A goal every night would be great, but that's not sustainable for everybody.
I would also love an 82-goal season.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. No, but yeah, points-wise, if he can contribute at least one a night, like that's the expectation for this. So
got to be involved for that price, for sure.
Right. So I think once, things boil down and postseason ends, the contract actually starts up, it's going to look really, really nice.
Yeah, expectations are there now, no doubt, for Marty, but I do think he's absolutely up to the task. The other bit of news we have, not necessarily related to tonight, or today, should I say, Avs injury report. Both Logan O'Connor and Sam Girard are on this road trip. They're not going to play this weekend or anything, but Bednar, you reported it, Bailey, did say they could play as soon as next weekend. So the Avs getting close to pretty darn healthy, are they not?
Yeah, it seems like it. And Bednar, I think, during the presser was very, very careful to use the word hopeful, just because that's what they want, right? But recoveries aren't always linear, so something could happen between now and next weekend where maybe the timeline's not matching up. They maybe need an extra couple days. And if that's what they need, I want them to take all the time that they need for this. The last thing I want this to feel like is rushed.
Yeah.
especially for a Logan O'Connor who's coming off of surgery. And it seems like for the 5 to 6 month period that was given to us this summer, this seems early for Logan O'Connor. We're starting to hit that 5 month mark, and that's fine if it ends up being on the earlier side rather than later. I'd love to get Logan O'Connor back to add to some of that Avs depth that we keep talking about. But if it's something they need to wait another 2 weeks on, like, I'm not complaining. But with that said, this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and there had been some stuff swirling that LOC might be a little bit ahead of schedule when it comes to his rehab. But kind of jumping off what you said, the Avs are 6-1-4. Like, they are not desperate to get guys back. If guys need an extra week, it's not that big a deal for Colorado.
I was so impressed watching Logan O'Connor skate the last couple of months. Hearing that a guy is ahead of schedule and actually watching it in action is so interesting to me. And the way that he's moving, the way that he's gotten involved in some of these morning skates that he's been a part of or practice sessions. He went on the trip today, so presumably he's skating with the team on in situations, and that's really impressive. So for Logan O'Connor to be able to have the kind of recovery he's had, I am very excited to see exactly how he starts off the season too. Not to start, getting everybody excited for a Logan O'Connor return too soon, but it's good news. It's very exciting.
It'll be fun when we get there. I think there's no doubt about that. I did want to talk about the Avs schedule a little bit because it might be the spookiest thing going on for the Avs right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have a back-to-back with Vegas today and then San Jose tomorrow. But when you actually look at their full schedule, I believe they have back-to-backs 3 of the next 4 weekends.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. And next week, they have a ton of time off in the actual week, so that's not too bad. But not that the Avs schedule is bad. In fact, if you look at some metrics, a lot of sites are saying the Avs actually have one of the easiest schedules in the NHL because they really don't have any long road trips.
Yep.
But is this a little weird with just how many back-to-backs the Avs are experiencing over the next month and a half?
It's definitely an interesting thing for me scheduling-wise because I feel like every single year comes some sort of scheduling gripe.
Yep.
The hockey schedulers are not my favorite people in the world. They get
2
the job.
p.m. game on a Friday today, by the way.
Yeah, which, I mean, if you've got kids and you're planning on trick-or-treating, okay, there's your night freed up for you. But I don't know. It's just very interesting to me. And I'd need to go and do more research on this, obviously, but I'm wondering how many other teams are in similar situations where it's just the volume of games in that span, not just, back-to-backs, but how many they're playing, in between too is just very odd to look at.
And obviously the Olympic break has a good amount to do with that, but still it does feel unusual just the way the games are spread out. I can't really put my finger on it, but it feels, I don't want to say imbalanced, just not what I'm used to.
Well, I mean, imbalanced is kind of a great word to use, too, because you look at after the Olympic break, too, and the schedule from March blows my mind. It's a cluster. When you look at a December, a November, an October, it doesn't look nearly as pleasing to the eye, and it's not when you talk about fun, this is the antithesis. I think following the break, and it's, I don't know if this is what we got to go through, like a couple back-to-backs to free up some of their time during the week for that necessary break leading into Olympics. Like, I'm okay with that. It's just I'm not looking forward to that.
All season long. It's a struggle. Yes, the Toyota chat pointing out it is Nevada Day, which I know and I get, but also
Halloween.
Like you can have a 5:00 game on Nevada Day. It's all right. It's not in Colorado. We have 303 Day, and that we don't get the day off work for that. Like, I don't think Nevada gets Nevada Day off either.
I would love that. Why is Nevada special?
I don't know.
Governor races are going. Next governor.
303 Day, officially a work holiday in Colorado.
Please.
Going a little out of order here, but since chat brought it up, Historically, the Avs go to Vegas for Nevada Day and get mauled. They've not had a good track record on Nevada Day in Vegas. I don't know that that's really a thing, but if things start to go south early in this game, I'm blaming Nevada Day. I'll put it to you that way.
Statistically, something has to give on Nevada Day. They can't be undefeated every single Nevada Day unless, I mean, maybe there's more questions where that came from, but no, in all seriousness, I think the Avs, maybe the Vegas Golden Knights are getting excited about something like this. It's just an everyday, matinee game, whatever, which has its own matinee craziness.
For
so
sure.
whether or not you want to look at this as just another, slob of icing on the top of an already weird cake.
I don't want to ask what the ingredients are in this cake. I don't want to know.
So
As long as it tastes good, that's all I care about.
yeah, and a good end result
Yeah.
would be nice.
To get to that end result, we do have our stat pack to show off here a little bit. And I do think Vegas is quite an interesting team. They're pretty middle of the pack when you look at most of their 5-on-5 statistics, except for they're a team of extremes when it comes to high danger opportunities. Few teams are scoring at a higher rate on their high dangers. Vegas shooting 24% on high danger chances, but they are also one of the worst teams at high danger save percentage in the league. So high dangers are going to matter a lot. Vegas is actually shooting at a pretty significant clip above their expected goals. Avs also decently above, but nowhere to the level of Vegas. So you do wonder if a course correction on their shooting ability is coming at some point, especially on those high dangers. But it's a night where the Avs need to do a better job of not making those big mistakes because Vegas will capitalize on the high danger chances. And then the other side of this is defensively, both teams really don't give up a ton of shots on goal. We've seen the Avs open it up and drop 40 plus shots on multiple teams this year. Do not expect that tonight. This one might be a little bit more of a grind to earn those opportunities, and the Avs are going to have to find a way to finish effectively as well to be the better team. With that being said, at 5-on-5, the possession metrics heavily favor the Avalanche, so that is something they can maybe take advantage of.
Absolutely. If that's one positive that they can kind of use to their advantage in this game, I take it and run with it. The thing for me that scares me a ton about this matchup is, yes, the Avalanche have notorious talent on their top end. They're a very heavy top-end talent team.
They are.
But so is Vegas.
They are.
Vegas loaded up on a lot of their offensive talent, especially over, I mean, the biggest one coming to mind, obviously, being Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
And the addition and, the start that he's had and how he's producing so far. But I don't know. That high danger shooting percentage really, really scares me because, again, it is something that the Avalanche do, I think, course correct down the line.
Yep.
But this is something Vegas has already seemingly perfected through the beginning of their season. And that's something the Avalanche are really going to have to start looking out for early on in this game.
The Mark Stone injury does help. One less guy in the top six for Vegas. Not that they're bad without him by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
They still have Hurdle, Dorofeyev, Barbashev, and you mentioned Marner, and of course Eichel is leading the NHL in points right now. So plenty dangerous up in the top six. I don't want to sound like a broken record on this conversation, but you look at that top six. The Avs top line has, by some metrics, been the best top line in the NHL. I don't think you're asking for a whole lot more there, though you do want to see Marty start his new contract. I guess it doesn't kick in until next year, but contract is signed.
You can still earn it.
You want to see him show out on the first day after a new contract is signed. But the real conversation is your second line is going to have to do it again tonight. You need that line to produce against top sixes that look as good as Vegas's does. Whether it's Nelson, Nichushkin, probably Colton will be on that line, but maybe Olofsson gets some time there. They have to come up with some big plays for you today.
Yeah, no, the thing is, when that configuration came out, I really liked Ross Colton's. Maybe he didn't show up on the score sheet more than once. I really like how he played on that second line. Seemed like a much better fit for him to be able to kind of make the pushes that he's more used to making, take more shots. And Brock Nelson looked extremely comfortable with him at his side as well. So you only hope that that's, trending positively and continues to do so.
And it's this weird push and pull with Brock Nelson right now where I think everyone feels like his game is moving up in the right direction, but the points do need to be there.
Yeah. No, we've talked about it consistently, is the process with Nelson isn't necessarily poor. Like he's had some really good games where the production hasn't been there, and that's all good and well, but again, as many times as we mentioned, points matter in the terms of a final score. And if your second line center is not producing the way that he was, signed to do, $7.5 million is quite a big chunk of change. If he can't produce the scoring to reflect that, it becomes another major question mark for this team. So you hope that's on the up and up.
It needs to be. If you're expecting to beat teams like Vegas on the regular, it needs to be. Bailey, we questioned Jared Bednar's goaltending decisions in their last back-to-back. They go with Wedgwood tonight. Blackwood's going to get the Sharks game tomorrow. Do we agree, or do we think Bednar maybe did it again?
I don't know. I think this one's harder for me than the last back-to-back situation they went in on, solely because you see what happened with Markstrom in his return for the Devils, and it
was bad.
it was not great. So I don't know. The trust in Wedgwood is there, obviously, and I think with San Jose's not a slouch team by any means lately either, given how some of their younger guys are producing as of late. But I think as far as, standings go and where these teams are projected to end up, I almost like kind of giving Blackwood that San Jose game. It's a revenge game, or quote unquote revenge game for him to kind of show up, settle in,
the Sharks
let
are
his
certainly
team.
an easier opponent.
I mean, it's easy. Yes, easier opponent, despite some of that production the younger core for them is putting up. But I think this is a good game for him to kind of settle back into his skates, get his footing back in the crease, and that way you can kind of build, instead of throwing him to the wolves, allow him to rise slowly and get into a situation where he can be that consistent starter down the road.
Gain a little bit of confidence for sure. Never a bad idea to try and give some goalies some more confidence. I'll put it to you that way, but it's not going to be a free roll by any stretch for Wedgwood tonight. They're going to need him to play pretty well.
Yeah.
You feel like you outscored a lot of your problems the other night against Jersey. You'd love to do that again, but also you can't have too many problems. I'll put it to you that way. Getting into the spooky, scary skeletons, I don't want to send any shivers down your spine, but Avs over the last 2 seasons are 0-3 in Vegas. It has not been a kind building to them. Across the course of Vegas's existence, the Avs have not won a ton in Vegas. They do pretty well against them at home, but Vegas has always been a tough building for everyone, but especially the Avs. And 3 of the Avs' last 4 games against Vegas have gone to the extra frame. So are we expecting this one to be close, tight, or are the Avs about to get blown out?
With Vegas performing the way that they are, I won't be surprised if it ends up turning into a very poor situation for the Avalanche. But what I'm expecting to see here tonight is 2 really strong teams in their own rights, in their own facets of the game. And as you said earlier, it being a gritty matchup, the Avalanche are going to have to earn every single goal that they score tonight. It's not going to be an easy game by any measure. Yep. Limiting the big mistakes is going to be key. And taking advantage of the high danger chances that they do create, getting creative with those opportunities. The power play's got to be big again tonight. I think if they can hit all of those check marks on their to-do list, this is something that gets you to overtime. And then it becomes a conversation that we've had, for a majority of the season. 1 point is great, but something needs to change there. Yeah.
It would be big for multiple reasons for the Avs to come out with 2 points in this game.
Yes.
Not just, hey, you'd like to win a game. You win this game, you have the best points percentage in the West. Right now, that is Vegas. Vegas
Yep.
has played a game less than the Avs, and they're sitting on the same point total. So
Yep.
you would not only jump over them, you're tied with your point total with Utah and Winnipeg in the Central Division, too. So
Yeah.
you would love for the Avs to keep at the top and make other teams continue to chase them.
The ideal situation here is to not get to overtime.
For sure.
The ideal situation here is to limit as many points coming out of this game as possible. And if that's one less point going Vegas's way, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, ideally you win regulation every night, right? But we also know that that's not the reality of the NHL. It's too competitive a league to be able to do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's also too competitive a league to take an overtime loss every time you go to overtime. So yeah, a little bit of give and take there, to say the least. When you look at these two lineups, one, it's not like Vegas is rolling out fantastic goaltending by any stretch of the imagination this year. The Avs, there will be opportunity to take advantage of that. You would particularly like to see the Avs power play continue to look good. It doesn't have to go 4 for 6 tonight, but you want them to score one.
Can they?
I mean, if they do that, bet the Avs win if that happens. So an opportunity there, and you look at Vegas's defense, and with some of the guys they've lost, obviously no Pietrangelo, Alec Martinez is retired. Is there maybe a little bit of opportunity for the Avs offense to exploit this team more than you might expect?
Maybe. I'm leaning more towards the no, just because of how dangerous they've been in other areas that make up for some of the other areas that they're lacking in.
For sure.
Maybe goaltending's not their best situation currently. They might be missing some top guys. But by all rights and meaning, this is still a very, very dangerous team that, again, the Avalanche are going to have to earn it. The Avalanche, if you can learn to pick apart some of these mistakes made on the other side of the ice early, yeah, great. That's awesome. Capitalize on that and take as much of that as you can before they go into intermission and fix it. But as of right now, it's two top teams going head to head.
No doubt. We kind of skipped over this conversation. Some people were calling the New Jersey Colorado a potential Cup Finals preview. Is Colorado Vegas a potential conference finals preview for the West?
Oh God, I hope not. But it easily could be.
Your other option is probably Edmonton from the Pacific. I don't know that I believe in any other team out there.
Would you rather see Edmonton or Connor McDavid or Eichel? I think that's the situation that it comes down to. Edmonton McDavid Draisaitl, or you looking at Eichel, Barbashev, Dorofeyev. I don't know.
I think the Edmonton matchup would be more fun.
Yeah, that's kind of where I lean. This is a situation for me, if that's a potential Western Conference final, I'm worried about the Avs in that situation. Is if they can stay healthy, that's maybe a different conversation, but they don't have a great track record of that heading into playoffs, or at least I don't know. I don't have high hopes for the Avalanche, and that's probably a very poor thing to say, but I don't have high hopes of the Avalanche coming out of that matchup if it's against Vegas.
Sometimes you got to slay some demons in the playoffs, but that is a long ways away. Tonight is just another game in October, so we don't have to get too deep into that. What we do need to do is bust out our crystal ball. You can't see Tiff's costume, but she's got the witchy crystal ball costume.
Got the Harry
going
Potter
on.
situation.
Yeah.
I guess
I guess
get
that's
mine,
wizard and crystal ball. I don't remember a lot of crystal balls in Harry Potter, to be honest.
There was one situation in their. Yeah, no, but there was also one in the third, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't know.
Lots of looking into like the pensive and stuff.
Yeah.
Not really a crystal ball, but
yeah.
Either way, give me a name, give me a number for tonight, Bailey.
He's been on the up and up. I'm going to call him for another goal tonight. Give me Brock Nelson.
Let's go.
And
Avs
then
need that.
give me, I don't expect high scoring here tonight. Give me 3-2.
A classic hockey score right
Yeah.
there. I'm down. I do think it might be a bit of a grind tonight. I agree with you on that take. It's matinee stuff though, so I'll take 4-3 instead.
Okay.
I'll go a step higher
I feel
on
like that's
the
fair.
actual score. And given who I am dressed up as today, I gotta go with Brent Burns as the goal scorer.
You're scoring one tonight.
I'm about to go out there and get one.
Get you on the jet now.
All the hard work, eating
might
all
make
the
it there by
candy.
third period.
This is really gonna give me a bunch of extra energy. Yeah, having a little bit of fun with that one. You could also have a little bit of fun with our pregame picks presented by Bet365. I went 3 for 3 the other night. Don't know that I'm expecting to go 3 for 3 on tonight, but sometimes you just got to have fun with it. I did take the Avs to cover, even though I said 4-3. Maybe I should have said 4-2, I guess. But it is plus 200.
Okay.
Pretty good money on the Avs if you think they can cover. The Burns goal is plus 1,100 if you actually think it's going to happen. And then, like we said earlier, do need that power play to show up. Natchez on the new deal, plus 195 for a power play point.
Okay.
I don't know if these are the right bets, but there is some good money to be made on the Colorado Avalanche
They're
tonight.
very hopeful.
Yeah, if you can find a bet you like, you might get good money on it tonight. Whatever you bet on, do with Bet365 and use the DNVR 365 code when you do. When you do gamble with them, of course, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. Last couple minutes of the pre-game show here. Bailey, I know it's just a game in October. Is there a little something extra when you pull out these games of best teams in the NHL, best teams in the conference? The Avs obviously popped off against New Jersey the other night. I don't know that felt like anything special. It felt more of this was an inevitability coming for Colorado. Can you build momentum off of that, or is this going to be a game where the Avs are going to have to push through it at times?
I think I'm leaning more toward the push through it, but it's always so exciting for me to watch best on best hockey. And that's something I think every team looks forward to, especially at Bednar. Like I remember in talking with him before the Nordiques Whalers game, like how cool is this for you to be a part of? And he's like, I'm more excited about the matchup. This is really good hockey, or really good hockey from a really good hockey team, and that it's a measuring stick for the Avalanche for sure. And whether they grind it out with a win or end up coming out of it blazing, there's going to be things to pull from it to improve on and move forward from or against better teams. There's always going to be a better team coming next.
Given the Avs' weird schedule, and you've experienced this firsthand, the Avs haven't had a ton of actual practice days so far this season. We've seen them take a lot of days off to try and find that rest because of these back-to-back situations. Does this schedule make it a little bit harder for them to dig into maybe some of the errors they're trying to clean up, or can they do this simply by, film days and things like that?
Film days are sometimes just as important as some of those practice days, because you'll see certain situations when they finally do get on a practice situation where they're maybe not going as hard because they've covered some of the things that they've needed to in film. I think both are crucial to succeeding. There's something to be said about watching what you need to fix and then putting that fix into practice. So I think it can be, I don't think it's necessarily detrimental. Bednar's always been a super big pusher of off days being some of the best medicine for some of this. So if you can get some good out of, extra film days here and there, that's, I don't think, a bad thing for this team in the slightest.
All right. The Avs are staying rested. We've got the Mad Mac emoji in chat. Yeah. The Avs could use a little bit of that today, probably. I don't have a good vibe on this one. I never have good vibe. Not that I have bad vibes. I just don't know how to feel about matinee games in general. So you could get anything today.
Yeah, I think just matinee on top of Vegas, on top of Nevada Day, on top of Halloween, whatever you want to call it, or whatever you want to call this day. It's a lot of weirdness. So
look,
this kind of game, it's either going to be a grind or we're seeing a high score, and I don't think there is any sort of in between.
No whistles, all right? You play this game fast. You can get this game done by 4:30 Mountain Time.
Go eat your candy.
Yeah, look, the players could get on the plane. They could be home by like 7 p.m. Colorado. They can still go out with their kids trick-or-treating tonight if they play this game fast. So
Kids aren't getting in bed at bedtime, but
a tight little 1-0 game, all right? No whistles. Keep it clean, keep it fast.
There you
We are
go.
going to wrap up this pregame show. We got a watch along coming your way in just a few minutes. Tune in for that, or at very least, join us for the postgame where Bailey and I will break down all of the game. We appreciate y'all. This has been the DNVR Avalanche pregame show, and we'll talk to you in a few minutes.
We all silly like the mayor.